Hi, I'm going to show you how to contribute to the UPPMAX documentation. The UPPMAX documentation can be found at this URL, docs.uppmax.uu.se. And how to contribute, that's a good question. Well, in the search block box, if I type contribute, already you'll see the page contributing. And this is what I'll be talking about, how to contribute. Just taking a look at the table of contents at the right, there's some stuff: create an issue, modify content, add new. These are ways to contribute, and there are some questions here that I'll go through. But I'll just make it bigger instead of seeing this table of content. So let's take a look. So this is about how to contribute. If you want to know why to contribute, there's this YouTube video for you. There are deeper reasons why you want to contribute. This is mostly aimed at UPPMAX staff. How to contribute happens in multiple ways, and it's different what you need to do. Here's, for example, an example, a little table that gives you a bit of a direction. In general, there are only a couple of things you will be doing. Creating an issue means you create like a to-do item or a suggestion item. It's written in text. You can say general things there. I'll be showing that one first. Sometimes you want to modify content, like fixing stuff. I'll show you that too. After that, I'll show you how to add a new page if you're really interested in this. And lastly, I will show you the anonymous feedback form. So let's go through these 4 things. So create an issue. So if I click on it, it will take me down on the page. I could just scroll down, could have scrolled there too. I'll make it a bit bigger. So to create an issue, you need to click on here, you need to create an issue. So I click on this. And the first thing, you need to be logged into GitHub. So you see my face here. I'm logged into GitHub. And then to create a new issue, you click on new issue. And now you put the title here, you put some text here, what it's about. And then you click at the bottom, create. And then you have created your first issue. And then we'll be dealing with it later. There are some issues if you want to see how they typically look. So that means for regular things, for text things, you want to create an issue, like share your knowledge in general terms. If you want to report a mistake, suggest improvements, that's when you create an issue. However, sometimes there's a page that has a typo or whatever. Then you want to modify the existing content. If I click on that, it's also more down at the same page. Then how do you do this? I'm first going to go through it and I'll show you. You have to click on edit. That's at the top right of each screen. You're going to edit the file. This is here. You need to be logged into GitHub here too. And then you make changes and you commit them. And then depending if you're UPPMAX staff, yes or no, there will be a couple more green buttons. So let's see if I can do this. I'll do this for this page. So here I click on edit. Then I need to click on edit again, which is here. This is the moment to log into GitHub if you have not done so yet. Here I click on edit this file. Here we see the content in Markdown, which is a markup language. Let's say I want to add something at the bottom. I will just write down test, and I can do that. Let's say if I can fix a typo. No, well, let's remove something like this. Remove an exclamation mark here. And then I click on commit changes. Give it some kind of text. All is fine for us, for you to for it to be accepted. And now I've made a change to the existing documentation. So that is modifying content. Next thing is how to add a new page. I click on this and there's a list here again how to create a new page. How to add a new page. Here it is. Add a new page. How to do so? Well, you need to go to the GitHub environment. I'll show you how to do that. You have to go to a right folder, for example, docs. You click on create new files. And then you create it, and in the end you commit it. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to, like already, if I zoom out a bit, Then here we see this link to GitHub, which is the repository behind this website. Let's navigate to a more useful folder. So this is like the root folder. This is not displayed on the fancy website. This is where our documentation comes in. Where contributing is the page we are working on now. You can see 1 minute ago I've made a change to this page. So this is, for example, a folder that's used. So the docs folder is where all the documentation is. Well, let's say I want to see something about software. I click on that, and now if I want to have a new piece of software, I do create new file. I'll call it my software.md, and I put my text here. Here I can commit my changes, and then I have made a file called my software. I'm going to do it. This is a bit of a useless file, but clicking here on commit and maybe some other green buttons, and you have added a new page to the UPPMAX documentation. So I'm going to leave this page. I'm not interested in it. Last place is to give anonymous feedback. You can do this in this form. This is just a place where you put feedback and it's submitted. This feedback is published regularly at this page on the UPPMAX documentation. You see that there's not much feedback yet, although this thing has been running for nearly 9 months. With this, there are some extra questions left. How long does it take until I see my changes? Several minutes. What if I make a mistake? No problem. Where to put what? So there's another site for UPPMAX. This is where to put what. It's called Site Vision. It's the well, you can read this yourself. Sometimes you need to use Site Vision for the moment, although these are both under discussion at the moment too. So most stuff related to UPPMAX already has to be on these pages. However, 2 topics are under discussion yet. If you create a new file, where to put it? Well, here's a table with some guidelines where to put it. And some examples. Finally, which Git branch should you use? So we use Git and the version control system. We just use the main branch, we'll take care of it. With that, I've showed you how to contribute to the UPPMAX documentation, and I wish you a very good day. Bye!